Do you ever find yourself searching on Pinterest for some inspiration for your own home or your space and leave that website feeling so overwhelmed and not knowing what to do? Well, I think there's so much noise that it can be hard to stay focused. There's so many pictures and so much of it is beautiful. It just becomes overwhelming. And what I found for myself to stay grounded and just move forward with my plans and whatever it was that I wanted to do is to take it back to the basics and go simple. So with this project, what I decided to do was take it back to the basics and keep it simple. Just want to see something soft and pretty, and so that's what I'm gonna do here. I hope that you will join me as I work on this dresser, and I hope you get some inspiration and find a way to take back whatever project you've been overthinking to the basics and move forward with it. So enjoy. Welcome to Soul Station. The first thing I'm going to do is clean this dresser with Crud Cutter. It smelled a little old, and so I cleaned it inside and out. To prevent any bleed through, I am going to apply shellac. We have had a very cold and snowy winter here in Montana. I love to watch the chickadees. I like to put sunflower seeds out for them and just watch all the birds. It is just so peaceful, and I'm so thankful for the windows and all the light that we have. So like I said, I want to paint this in a soft white color, so I'm using Linen White here by Rust-Oleum. I am using this color because it's all I have. I'm rolling it on because it just makes it really fast and gets good coverage, but then I'm going to use my paintbrush to brush it out because I want this to have an older look and feel to it, just like the dresser. So I think the brush strokes really would be more true to the era of this dresser than to just see a perfect finish or rolled out finish. So I'm going to use my brush and get those brush strokes on there. So this one I kind of do want to have some brush strokes. Sometimes getting into all of the little nooks and crannies can be challenging, but if you push the paint in with your brush, you can get it in there. And then I like to take my brush and just kind of paint it back and forth to kind of smooth it out so it doesn't look messy. I did the same thing with the entire dresser. I rolled on the paint and then I brushed it out. I did the same thing with the drawers. I rolled it on and then I brushed it out. So here it is after one coat, and I do want to have better coverage in this, so I will go back and do a second coat. And you can see here on the drawers that a second coat is going to look a little bit better. In between the coats, I did a light sand. Now this is not to remove the look of the brush strokes, but just the feel of it. I used a vacuum to clean up all of the sanding dust. I'm also going to sand away edges and worn spots here and there to give it a distressed and aged look. The next thing that I'm doing is adding some decoupage paper to the outsides of the drawers. I thought this would dress it up and just add a little surprise when you open up the drawer. I placed the paper onto the side of the drawer and I used a razor blade to cut it out, and then I applied Mod Podge and I just painted that all over, and then I laid down the paper on top of that. Now I didn't get it lined up perfectly, but the nice thing about this was that you can pull the paper right back up and then realign it so that you get it on there the way that you want. I guess that's kind of the theme of this video, is just that realigning or taking things back to the basics. Sometimes I just have to go sit back at the feet of Jesus and get realigned, refocused to that one thing, that good thing that really matters. I had a little bit too much Mod Podge on here, so I used a foam brush to remove some of the excess. I repeated the process with all of the drawers, and I really like this decoupage paper. I will put a link in the description box below to the products that I used. Once the Mod Podge had dried, I used rough sandpaper to sand away the edges and only went in one direction so that the paper did not fray. I also lightly sanded the decoupage paper so that it felt smooth to the touch, because it did feel a little bit gritty. Once I removed all of the blue tape, I sanded the edges just to soften everything. To seal the paint, what I'm using is polyacrylic and adding some of this white paint. And I really would like to find another sealer. I wish I had some clear wax, but I am out. And so I am using this polyacrylic, and it's just not my favorite. The reason it's not my favorite is because I still have a little bit of yellowing when I use it on a white finish. And I know it says that it doesn't yellow, and that's why I added the white paint to it, just to kind of help prevent that yellowing. But I still did, unfortunately, get just a little bit of yellowing, and so I did something else after all of this polyacrylic had dried. I don't know if you can see the yellowing, but there's just like little spots of it here and there that look a little bit creamy or yellow. After the polyacrylic had dried, I gave it a light sand so that it's smooth to the touch. And I have just a little bit of white wax left, and so what I did was I put the white wax over all the areas where it had yellowed a little bit, and I think that definitely helped. The last thing I'm going to do to this dresser is freshen up the inside of the drawers with this Howard's wax. It smells like oranges and just brought this wood back to life. The inside of the drawers was actually in pretty good condition.
I see you in everything. You're working it all out for me. Oh, what can I do but sing and give to you all the glory? You put all my fears to rest. I bring to you my anxiety. Oh, I am forever blessed. Your passion is always chasing me. You are maker, maker
Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this video and gotten some inspiration for some of your own projects. I know sometimes we can overthink things, and really, if we just take it back to the basics, a simple white you can never go wrong with. Thank you all so much for watching and for liking and subscribing to my channel, and God bless each one of you.